I'm gonna feel it.
So how do you like Bulgaria? How did we took good care of you?
You did take good care of me, although I did not see a lot of Sofia because I'm just going back and forth and between hotel and set, hotel and set, hotel and set. So the only day off I have, it's once per week, and it's just a little bit difficult to go out but I'm very tired because I'm shooting like around 10-12 hours a day. So when I have a day off, like I just want to rest, lay in bed.
Could have you walked freely on the street when you were walking?
Not really, but I love all my fans, and it's just a nice feeling, when you get recognized from in a country that you've never been. But again, I did not go out a lot. So yeah, a few times I went out is just because I wanted to buy shoes.
Okay.
But I went to the mall and I was all covered and stuff.
You had a huge fan base all over the world and here in Bulgaria as well. Can you tell us a funny story or an extreme story with the fans you've met on the street or wherever you've been?
There was a time in 2020 when there was this crazy fan that tried to stab me with a knife.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and but I don't know what happened to him. It just got crazy at a certain point, and he was just trying to, I think, kill me. And he wasn't okay. I think he had some mental problems and stuff. But I had just my bodyguards just jumping on him, and that was scary. That was really scary. I felt like, okay, that's the scary part of this job. You might find someone who doesn't like you, and it's just you just have to take care of myself. And there was another time I was taking a picture with a guy, and he asked me, "Hey, can we take a picture and stuff?" I was in New York. No, I was in New York, I think. Yeah, I was in a hotel, and this guy just I was taking a picture with him, and just suddenly didn't see him anymore. He just fainted on the floor, and we had to call the ambulance and stuff. And I don't know. Like it was that. If you're asking me for weird stuff, like this is the more weirdest thing that happened.
I hope the pleasant were more often. I'm sure they are. So let's start from the beginning. Was it a hard road to become an actor for you?
It was a hard road, yeah, but very exciting. I mean, I come from a very humble family. My dad used to be, I lost my dad when I was 12, but he used to be a worker, so building construction and stuff. My mom used to go and clean someone else, people's house, She was a cleaning lady. We did not have money at all. And I knew since I was young that if I wanted to do something, I just had to do it with my own energy. It wasn't a hard road, yeah, because especially not just because of an economic situation of myself, but just because in Italy it's not very easy. Let's say it's not easy at all to become a well-known actor unless you're ugly and you have this, this image of you have to be, for Italians, when you're a good-looking guy, you're directly not good as an actor. Because I don't know why they have this set up mind as an actor should to be recognized as a real and serious actor has to be ugly and dirty and has to look like a weird old poet, and I've never liked it. I think I remember I decided to be an actor when I was 10, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And
What
I started,
triggered that?
Um?
What triggered that will and dream to become true?
I was always interested on people's mind, people's psychologies.
Yeah.
And I always liked to, you know, act like somebody else. Always wanted to, you know, try to always being someone else, or, you know, that maybe was a turning point of my life, you know, regarding this. I always wanted to be, to act like someone else. You know, I was always very funny to be someone else to me. Yeah.
Who you wanted to be in that early stage?
Well,
do you
right
have
before
some
I discovered
role models or movie stars you wanted to look like, or?
right before becoming an actor, I remember that I used to like teeth. So right before I found my passion, I think I wanted to become a dentist for some reason. I don't know why, because it was teeth of the people always turned me on in some way. Like, I don't know, like it always, I was always very attracted by the teeth of the people.
Okay.
So that's why maybe I wanted to become a dentist. But then I decided that maybe I could have just played the role of the dentist in some movie. I have never really had a role model as an actor,
Yeah.
as a person, but I was inspired by a lot of books that I've read. Mm-hmm. For example, I'm a huge fan of Bram Stoker, like the Dracula of Bram Stoker.
Okay.
And that, I think it was something important for my artistic career, something important to find out my real passion, which is the acting. Yeah, or poets. For example, I'm a huge, incredibly fan of Edgar Allan Poe. Do you know this poet?
Yes, of course.
Edgar was always one of my favorite poets. You know, this dark,
And
you know,
deep.
and deep, and
Yeah.
you know, and he was obsessed by death, and he turned on making, you know, art, you know. And I always wrote poems myself, so and stories. So creating this, I think, okay, if I write something, I would like to watch a movie that is talking about my poem. So maybe I just decided to try to, you know, it was a mix of things.
You told me that you had a lot of different jobs before you became an actor. What did you work?
I've done a lot of jobs in my life.
Yeah.
Just to support my dreams. I was always struggling for money. I was selling door by door Hoovers, you know, Hoovers.
Okay.
So if I was living in Bulgaria around 5 years ago, you would have probably have me outside your door, knocking on your door, trying to sell you a Hoover. I've done also gardening. I was a waiter. I was working in a company that does parquet.
Yeah.
So I was putting down parquet.
So you were a very handy man, I could say,
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
What was your salary when you were gardening?
My salary,
Yeah.
it was around $600 a month. Yeah, $650 a month in black.
In black.
So no contract and stuff.
Do you have a garden now?
I do.
Do you do it yourself?
I do, but I really
You don't have time for that.
I mean,
just be honest.
today, like, I really have no time for that. But
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm in my garden, I bought a house. They have a big garden and stuff. I sometimes when I'm laying on the ground on my garden, I'm just but this tree should be cut in a different way. So it's just, but then I'm just too lazy to cut my tree.
Tell me about your first day working in the movie as an actor in your first movie. You remember the excitement?
That's a nice
Were
question.
you scared? Were you excited more than
I
usual?
was, I'll tell you a story. The first set I've done, I was in, I remember in 2011.
Yeah.
I was 21 years old, and I was being part of this series called Like a Dolphin, like,
Yeah.
so about this swimmers and stuff, and I had a contract back then as an extra, like a special extra.
Yeah.
So, and talking extra. I wasn't an actor. I was there, and I was always there. Like I was every day. I was there working on set. I really wanted to prove myself as an actor, but there were leads kids, you know, like me, like kids. I mean, like teenagers, like 21 years old, 22 years old. And I was always there when the director was speaking to them. Although I was an extra, I shouldn't be there. And once one of these guys told me to turn, and he told me, "Listen, you're not one of the leads. Get away from here." Like, listen to the director. But I was just there just to learn, you know, and stuff. And I felt so bad, because not because he told me that, but suddenly I thought, like, a guy wants to learn something and you're telling him this, like. I felt so, not disrespected, but I felt so, yeah, like I was nervous, but in the same time I was excited from that, because I said, like, you know what, I want to do something for real now. The first day of set, I wasn't lead, so I just had a small scene in a nice movie, and I wasn't nervous. I was just very passionate about proving my point.
Yeah.
I wanted to show, you know, what I wanted to do. You know, just.
Did you tell yourself in that moment when this lead actor told you, go off the set, we are here with the director and you're not with us? Did you tell yourself, one day when I become a superstar, I'm not going to treat the people this way?
Absolutely, yes. I told myself, not directly, but today on set, they're giving me, even the girl that is holding my umbrella when it's raining.
Yeah.
But it's actually funny because I'm holding the umbrella for her. I'm treating everybody in a way that I'd like to be treated. And I don't understand why I should treat like in a bad way someone in a way that I wouldn't be like to being treated, you know. Just.
Who do you want to meet on screen?
Probably Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
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 I mean, working with them, it was always been a dream. I would make a movie with them and without even getting paid.
Have you met him in person?
Never. Unfortunately not. But I've met Francis Ford Coppola, which is the director of Dracula, Bram Stoker.
Yeah.
I met him in Rome, and I actually got to hold his hand and I told him, listen, I think that I actually told him, listen, Dracula of Bram Stoker is one of the most, and I think it's the most beautiful love story ever written and directed by like someone, and I really want to thank you for that, because there's everything inside that movie. There's like, you're a genius, man, for me. And I was so happy to meet him and stuff. And it was like, thank you very much. And then Francis Ford Coppola, it was so humble. So humble. So super humble.
But you've worked with Paolo Sorrentino.
Yeah.
I envy you so much that you being close to this person.
Yeah.
I love him though. How was working with him?
It's, working with those kind of people, the real genius, the real artists, they are always the most humble person, you know, because they know who they are and they don't have the need to show who they are. So we were on set shooting a new project. I can't really say what is about, but it's gonna come out soon, and it was just magical, you know, because it wasn't even following the script. It was just coming on set, inventing a new scene, and like people were like, "But Paulo, like we can't do that, you know, like isn't it on the script?" I don't care. I want to do it because he is very visionary about what he's doing, and he's, you know, when you work with someone like him, you just have to shut up and listen to him and just do whatever he's asking you to do, because he knows he hold like an Oscar.
Yeah.
So if he holds an Oscar, he's probably know what he's doing, you know.
What kind of role you want to play?
I would like
something which is probably very far from you, or
I think I would like to play a role of the handicap for some reason.
okay.
I would like to be an handicap. I don't know why, but I would like to play someone who has an handicap, or someone who has mental issues, you know, schizophrenia, for example.
I think that you started something like that in 365, playing your twin brother, right? It was something there which wasn't like...
It was,
Right.
yeah, it was like Adriano was completely different from his brother.
Yeah,
He had some, it was more
Issues.
like, it wasn't really, like he was more angry with himself and with others, and he was always under drugs, under cocaine.
yeah.
So when I begged myself, if someone is always taking cocaine, how would he think? So it was always very angry and like
Yeah.
very nervous and stuff, and never really focused on something. So he didn't really have mental problems in handicap, but
Yeah.
he had probably more like a drug addiction.
2020 was a very big year for you. It was like 365, the trilogy started like that. You became a fashion designer, you're an artist, you're painting also. Tell me, how did you get the proposal for the 365?
I was,
Yes.
I think at that time they were just trying to find the right guy to play this role, and
Yeah.
they couldn't find it until they found a picture of me in some old Facebook page,
Yeah.
and they just chose me right away. And they found me. I was working, and they just called me, and everything.
They
everybody
didn't
started.
cast you, they just said, it's you. That's you. Exactly. But this movie, when it was released, your life was completely changed, right? How did you wake up the day after this movie was released? What happened that day?
I was. It was crazy because they just put they just released the movie on the platform all over the world. And
Yeah.
I went to sleep. I was not even my mom used to know me anymore. And then I suddenly woke up and I had like around
Yeah.
3 million followers on Instagram. Like from that day, just my life changed completely. I couldn't walk anymore on the street.
Your Instagram blocked, I understood.
It cracked up, yeah.
Cracked up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
I
you-
had to deactivate, and then I remember, like, because I wasn't using Instagram anymore, I forgot my password for some reason. I had like a couple of followers, not more. So yeah,
That's happened.
that's what happened.
How did your mother took this fame?
You know, my mother just started getting calls by anyone
Yeah.
from family. She just kind of changed her number. First, she didn't want to deal with people. Didn't even say, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
Or telling her, these people that they never ask you, "How are you?" Like
Yeah.
10 years.
And now
And then they
want to be-
suddenly ask, "Hey, what about having a coffee together?" And my mom she's just like, "No, I don't.
No.
Thank you very much."
Is she proud of you now?
She's really
'Cause
proud
you
of me.
Completed your dreams, and you're going up and up.
She is really proud of me, but she's not that kind of person that shows how proud is she.
Uh-huh.
She's very, good job, whatever. Like she doesn't really talk about my job. We don't really speak about my business,
Yeah.
because it's my mom. It's just she's not a fan. For my mom, I am the same person I was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's seeing, for example, like my career change, like my life change and stuff. She's seeing new house, cars and stuff, but she doesn't really ask.
Yeah.
She's a very private person. Like she doesn't care about what I do, or
Just to be happy.
sometimes she asks, "Hey, well, you doing any movies, new movies?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm shooting right now, Subservience." "Oh, cool. With who?" "Oh, Megan Fox." Oh, is she the girl she's an American actress? "Yeah, she is." "Okay, good luck, huh?" My mother, she's a very particular person. I don't talk to her since 2 months probably, but not because we fight. We're having some problems. It's just, my mom. She gives me a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
When you're ready, I know you're working. When you're ready, just call me. She actually called me. No, I'm lying, because she actually called me yesterday night, and just to tell me that I've got like 3 tickets from the police because of the car. I just
Okay.
left the car somewhere. It's like, hey,
You have bills to pay here.
you have bills to pay. When are you coming back? I was like, "Mom, I'm shooting a movie and stuff." But you have 3 tickets, for speed and stuff. And the guy was like, "Okay, I'll pay them."
There, she likes your music.
She does.
She got me every day on the phone. She make me wanna get out the road. Wish I could turn it off, let it go, but she's too fucking beautiful.